Curtin Radio.
Well, like I mentioned, it was called the Olympics for the Nerds. What a great event to actually attend. The Consumer Electronics Show had kicked off in Vegas just recently, providing the forum for the world's biggest electronics companies to unveil their latest products to 7,445 media representatives, 1,700 more than the Rio Olympics. So about 170,000 attendees and hundreds of millions of eyeballs across the world were privy to this rather wonderful experience. Joining me right now is Shara Evans, who's CEO and Futurist and keynote speaker for Market Clarity. Shara, good afternoon. What a great time you had.
Oh, Jenny, it was amazing. But, you know, this show is so big that even if I was on a scooter and I was whizzing past every exhibit, I still couldn't have seen everything in the 4 days that the show ran.
Gee, there's been a lot of work looking at the future and as far as infrastructure and commodities and things that we're going to be using. They've been working on, haven't they?
Oh, yes. I mean, everything from, smart cars. There's so much happening in the automotive space, to wearables and robots doing all kinds of things, augmented and virtual reality, and some really fun things that a lot of show attendees appreciated were these massage chairs that use these advanced sensors that felt so good. It was unreal.
Look, when you hear about all these wonderful things that are going to happen in the future, how far away are a lot of these items? And are they going to be very costly, do you think, at first?
Well, the things that were on show at CES were primarily things that have either just launched, are about to launch, or are already on the market. There were some areas of the show floor where they were going a little bit further out into the future, but most of the 3,900 exhibits were things that you'll be able to buy in the very, very near term.
Closer than we think, so we just have to get ready for these big changes. Let's have a look at a few, if you don't mind. You've mentioned robots and some gadgets. Would you list a couple for us?
Oh, my gosh. There were robots of every shape and size at CES. And one of the things that really struck me was how many of them are designed to be absolutely cute. The sort of robot that reminds me of Japanese anime, whether they're robots designed for kids or designed for in-store concierges, in other words, greeters in a store or in a hotel or any other use. They're really trying to make them look sweet and friendly, and a lot of them have like rounded heads and big eyes. And they roll around and they talk to you. Certainly voice recognition is a big, big trend overall and in conjunction with robotics. And one of the things that I saw was Amazon's voice agent, which is named Alexa, is being integrated into everything. There were so many robots that were powered from a voice perspective by the Alexa software. There was a Whirlpool appliance that was powered by Alexa, Ford cars that were powered by Alexa, all over the place.
That is amazing. And sorry, just for voice activation, is it adjusted for different languages, dialect, tone of voice, that sort of thing?
Oh, yes. I mean, voice recognition in general is part of a field of artificial intelligence, which goes to pattern recognition and natural language recognition. And it is getting more and more sophisticated. Now, it obviously depends on which AI agent one is using as to how good it is at recognizing voice. But the state of the art today is that it not only is able to recognize different languages, it's able to figure out your emotions from the tone of your voice, the cadence of your voice, and the words that you're using.
Goodness me, that is scary stuff, because when we're talking in our car to ourselves sometimes about other bad drivers, there's a few blue words come out sometimes.
There's all kinds of in-car stuff. But, one of the things that, has me a little bit concerned, Jenny, is that a lot of these toys that are coming out, little robot toys, use this same voice recognition for kids. And they basically will talk to your little kids,
Goodness.
from the age that they're able to do a bit more than babbling. And in some cases, they'll store it in the cloud in a personally identifiable manner, which, of course, is not good for privacy. In other cases, they'll store the conversation but not identified as being affiliated with a particular child. But we're going to see kids talking to their toys and robots and all sorts of other things, as well as us grown-ups.
Well, children learn from their parents and people around them when they're growing, as far as the language is concerned. If the robot has that static robotic voice and talks back to the child, we might have our child sounding the same.
Well, one of the other things that's happening in the whole world of language recognition and artificial intelligence is there's a lot happening in terms of giving the robot voice emotion too, so that you don't have the robot just picking up the emotion of the person speaking. It will, if programmed properly, also display emotion as well, or pseudo-emotion, we should really call it, because it's not real emotion as we humans would like to think of it.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of adjustment, isn't there? Look, we've only got a couple of minutes left, Shara, but I'm just wondering, we're talking so much about driverless cars. I mean, and we keep getting told it's not that far away. How close are we thinking here?
Oh, look, it's already happening. There are autonomous models on the market today, but what most people do not realize is that it's creeping into today's car models by stealth. So what you see in the 2016 models and in the 2017 models is that they're loaded up with all kinds of sensors. So you might have a car that is able to detect whether a pedestrian is about to walk in front of you, or a cyclist is about to go in front of you, or another car is about to come into your path, and it will automatically apply the brakes. For about 7 or 8 years, we've already had self-parking vehicles, and that is becoming a very, very common feature. We're also starting to see things in today's models, which would be adaptive cruise control, where, let's say you're going on a highway at 90 kilometers an hour and someone's a bit slower in front of you and they speed up and slow down. Today, you'd sort of flick your cruise control on and off. With adaptive cruise control, that's actually a robot driving, and it figures out how fast and slow it should go, and it will do that adjustment for you. There are other things like traffic jam assist that will basically do the stop-start for you as long as there's another car in front of you, and keeping you in the right distance from the car in front of you. And the list goes on and on and on, and this is today.
Well, this is going to overcome road rage. We just hope that the robotics in the car doesn't have a bad day and decides not to operate in a friendly manner.
Well, you're so right, Jenny. One of the things that I always get very concerned about is the ethics of what happens when something goes wrong. Is a car going to, let's say, run over a pedestrian if it's an unavoidable accident, or will they potentially veer off, let's say, the side of a cliff and kill everybody in the car? These are some really important things that will need to be programmed, if I can use that word, into the artificial intelligence that is driving the vehicle. And there's a lot of work to be done there.
Well, yes, I'm certainly hoping. I think all of us are a little bit sort of in awe of the whole thing, but also questioning how is a car capable of making up all those human decisions in the right way. I mean, it's endless, isn't it? So we hope they are working on it.
It is. It is, and, frankly, if you think about the way 2 or 3 or 10 different humans would react to the same situation, most of us would react slightly differently.
Yep.
So how are we going to put these rules into some sort of programmatic code? There's a whole new job description that is on the horizon, which is robot ethicist, and there will be people who literally earn their living by trying to figure out what way a robot should behave if particular situations happen.
I agree. We can't take a robot to court and prove that they were behaving badly, I guess. But do you have a website at all, Shara?
Absolutely. My company website is Market Clarity, and it's marketclarity.com.au.
Oh, look, they can get a lot more information from there, and I thank you so much for sharing all that with us today.
Thanks, Jenny.
Pleasure. Thank you, Shara. Thank you indeed. That's Shara Evans, CEO of Futurist Market Clarity here on Curtin FM. 9 minutes to the hour, news at 1 o'clock.
Sitting